Time now for that morning rush.
And we start with Kristen Curry.
Good morning. Looking at filtered sunshine today with increasing high cloud cover across the state. Some showers up in southern Colorado tonight. Those showers will continue to fill in and creep south overnight into Tuesday. That looks to be our best opportunity for a few spot rain showers here in the metro. Snow looks to accumulate above 9,000 feet, but only a few inches as we get into the northern mountains and higher elevations of southern Colorado. Sarah?
Right now, authorities are trying to determine a motive for the massacre that has left more than 24 people dead and 20 injured in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Officials say Devin Patrick Kelly started shooting before he entered the First Baptist Church. Officials say this could have been worse had a neighbor not fired shots at Kelly as he was leaving the church. Kelly once served in the U.S. Air Force from 2010 to 2014 at the Holloman Air Force Base in Alamogordo. Why Kelly was dishonorably discharged from the Air Force coming up in the 5 Facts. Crystal?
And we'll be following this tragic shooting all day long. For the very latest information, stay up to date with us on air, online, and on our KRQE News app. Back here at home, we could learn more about an officer-involved shooting, this time in Rio Doso. The shooting involved Rio Doso police, who say officers were called to a suspicious situation on Timberline Drive yesterday morning. When police arrived, they say someone rammed a patrol car with a vehicle, and that's when shots were fired. Then the driver of a second vehicle tried to leave the scene. State police are now investigating this.
An Albuquerque man is locked up this morning facing charges after a woman says he pulled a knife on her. This happened on Saturday night. Leah Gallegos says a homeless man identified as Patrick Shea threatened her after asking for change. Gallegos ran, called police after grabbing a witness. And after that happened, police arrested Shea. He's charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
On to news from Washington this morning. The president and first lady are in Japan to start a 12-day tour of Asia. President Trump met with Japan's prime minister and its emperor. Trump also spoke up U.S. manufacturing during a discussion on trade and business ties between the U.S. and Japan. He suggested Japanese car manufacturers open plants in the U.S.
Today, former Congressman Anthony Weiner is scheduled to report to federal prison. The 53-year-old was sentenced back in September to 21 months in federal prison for sexting with a minor. In addition to prison time, Weiner will also serve 3 years of supervised release. He'll also have to register as a sex offender. Weiner will also participate in an outpatient sex offender treatment program. Caught on camera this morning, a dramatic rescue. Police in L.A. say a driver dozed off, missed a turn, and then flipped and slammed into a pole. Officers on scene tried to put the fire out that erupted afterward, but the flames were just too strong, and that's when officers heard the driver calling for help. So they pried the door open and pulled that person out. The driver was taken to the hospital and is expected to be okay. The officers suffered just minor burns and scrapes and all of that.
Yeah, pretty terrifying video there. On to news here at home. APD Chief Gordon Eden is down to just a few weeks left on the job. Over the weekend, Chief Eden announced he will be retiring. In an email to the department, he says he made the decision in March to retire at the end of November, just before the new mayor takes office. In that email, the chief thanks the officers and civilian staff.
Let's turn now to new details on a story that we've been following for days now. A teen with special needs who went missing last week is now safe this morning. 17-year-old Raekwon Daniels, who's autistic and has a form of Down syndrome, did not arrive home Wednesday after the school bus dropped him off. APD has not said where he's been since then, just that he is now back at home.
That's some good news there. On to news happening today. Thousands of dollars are expected to go toward local disaster relief efforts. The state's Office of Attorney General says it will provide nearly $37,000 to the Red Cross. The money is expected to help with people affected by disasters and home fires. Last year, over 400 New Mexicans experienced disasters ranging from home fires to flooding.
As it gets cooler, local soldiers are making sure that homeless people have a safe, warm place to sleep this winter. New Mexico National Guard members did prep work at Heading Home's emergency shelter. 40 volunteers did housekeeping, landscaping, and trash cleanup and prepared bedrolls for shelter guests. Kristen?
Severe thunderstorms created destructive winds and at least one tornado in parts of Indiana and Ohio yesterday. Dozens of homes, barns, and other buildings were severely damaged by strong winds reaching as high as 65 miles per hour. In Ohio, at least 8 people have been injured, none of them life-threatening. Indiana, many mobile homes were hit hard, and schools in some areas will be closed for today. Bringing you back here to New Mexico, it's a totally different threat. We're looking at some breezy conditions, but rain and snow in the forecast overnight into tomorrow. For today, though, temperatures getting back to the 60s, which is above average for us. That Metro Threat Index at a 3 only because those winds that we have coming out of the southwest later on this afternoon and into this evening. Crystal?
On to new news this morning. Teens who are dependent on marijuana and alcohol are less likely to go to college, work full-time, or even get married. This is according to a new study. Researchers from the University of Connecticut tracked over 1,000 12-year-olds, I should say, for more than 20 years. Most participants had an alcoholic family member.
And new this morning, state lawmakers are preparing to reconvene for a legislative session in just a couple of months now. One senator may try again to drop daylight saving time. That's according to the New Mexican. Senator Cliff Pirtle from Roswell says he might introduce a joint resolution to get the ball rolling. He says many Americans are tired of the time change.
The Albuquerque Comic-Con just 2 months away for Albuquerque. That's where military and first responders will get in free for the last time. Comic-Con promoter Jim Burleson says people other than vets and first responders complained about not getting a discount over the years, which he says led to threats. He's now receiving more criticism from people saying he shouldn't have given in to the initial criticism.
On to news new this morning, a tiny bug is posing a big threat to one of New Mexico's biggest cash crops. An investigation by the Carlsbad Current-Argus and the Roswell Daily Record found that an invasive bug known as the pecan weevil could derail New Mexico's $180 million pecan industry. In late 2016 and January 2017, the weevil was found in residential pecan orchards in multiple counties in southeastern New Mexico.
Time now for a check on traffic. No major crashes out there, but we do have some closures due to construction. That's First Street between Central and Harris, and that's for the next few weeks. Also, the northbound lanes of Girard closed between Lomas and Constitution, and the off-ramp of I-25 southbound at Osuna is closed for the time being. Everything else looks to be moving at posted speeds.
It is that time of year again. The McDonald's McRib is back on the menu, but only at some restaurants across the country and only for a short time. The boneless pork sandwich with the tangy barbecue sauce first debuted on the menu 35 years ago. McDonald's, get this, is actually offering a special McRib Finder app dedicated to helping customers find restaurants that are serving the sandwich.
And finally, a waitress in Ohio received the biggest tip of her life from Chrissy Teigen. The waitress says the model left behind a $1,000 tip in an Outback in Centerville last month after Teigen and a few others ate at the restaurant. The waitress, Michaela Scott, says she shared the tip with some of her coworkers.
How awesome is that?
Very generous.
So that's a tip you won't forget.
No kidding. All right, time now for the 5 facts.
We'll start at number 5 this morning. An American woman won the New York City Marathon for the first time in 40 years. 36-year-old Shalane Flanagan was emotional after crossing the finish line yesterday. She said, "This is the moment I've dreamed of since I was a little girl." Her unofficial time was 2 hours, 26 minutes, and 53 seconds.
Boy, is she fast. Congrats to her. Number 4 now, a school district in New Mexico is considering shortening the school week from 5 days to 4. Tonight, the Squirrel Consolidated School Board is expected to discuss a proposal that supporters say would help recruit quality educators. Those against worry about longer school days possibly forcing kids to walk home in the dark, or that there could be daycare issues for some families. The district posted a survey asking for opinions from the community. Find that on our website, KRQE.com.
At number 3, cooler across the state today. Albuquerque in the upper 60s, sunshine with high clouds. Showers, both rain and snow, fill in overnight into tomorrow. Albuquerque with the rain. Areas above 9,000 feet with accumulating snow on Tuesday.
At number 2 this morning, an officer-involved shooting investigation is ramping up after BCSO confirms one of its deputies recently shot a man wielding a knife in the North Valley. The sheriff calls the scene very complicated. It happened near Edith and Montano yesterday afternoon after deputies arrived to a disturbance call that they say they found somebody had been stabbed. They then found the suspect. It's unclear what led the deputy to shoot their weapon. No names have been released just yet.
On to number 1 now. Investigators are trying to figure out a possible motive behind the worst mass shooting in Texas history. It happened inside a Baptist church. It left at least 26 people dead, 20 others injured. Some of the victims are children, the youngest only 5. We've learned the suspected shooter, Devin Kelly, was once stationed in New Mexico at Holloman Air Force Base. He was discharged for bad conduct 3 years ago, allegedly for assaulting his wife and child. Authorities say a resident also inside that church pulled his rifle, forced that suspect to flee. Kelly was later found shot dead. No word on if it was self-inflicted.